Merry Christmas, everyone! This is either going to come out exactly on Christmas or maybe a bit afterwards, depending. I'm going down south for like a holiday and I don't think there's any internet there. So if I don't get this edited before I leave, the chances are I might not be able to upload it because I'm not sure what I'm doing with that yet and I leave in like a day. So I'll see how it goes. So it's either Christmas or just after Christmas is when this is planning on going up. It's been the first vlog that I've made in quite a while. It's been at the very least 6 months. Ignore the fact I'm a mess, by the way. I've been put on ADHD medication and a bunch of other shit, which I'll explain in the video. I'm going to try and keep this down. I've made a vlog before this, but it ended up being an hour and a half long. So I'm going to keep this one short. And hopefully reduce the amount of editing I have to do, and not give myself indigestion by talking non-stop. Behold, this is an antacid. These things are basically what I live off now, because, look, I've been diagnosed with quite a couple of things since I've last been interacting with a lot of people. This is probably going to be the last vlog, possibly for a very, very long time, and the reason with that being is I'm restarting a load of things that I was planning on doing before I got struck with the mysterious illness, which, by the way, was a multitude of things, and we're still not entirely certain if we've fixed it all yet. That's been a 2-year ordeal. That was April of 2023, so it's almost 2 years that I've basically been struck with the worst nausea in the world. I don't know if you've ever had really bad stomachache before, but as I've described in previous vlogs and all sorts of shit actually, live streams, probably some videos I've mentioned it as well, it's essentially like, it's like the worst version of seasickness in the world. It's not quite vertigo, but it's like bloating, so if you can imagine your internal organs get filled up with air, and then it's just the worst thing ever. I want to try and eat this. I don't know what this thing tastes like, but it's not bad. It tastes like magnesium hydroxide, apparently. Oh no, it's simethicone. That's not good. Unsurprisingly, to a lot of people who've known me for a, fairly long time, I've been diagnosed quite recently with autism. I haven't been formally diagnosed with ADHD yet. I think that's going to happen early January, because I went to the psychiatrist and she listed all of the ADHD symptoms, and I was sitting there suffering from 11 of them, and she only wrote, like, basically she didn't believe I was ADHD even though I had all the ADHD symptoms. So I haven't been diagnosed with that. What I have been diagnosed with, I don't know, again, my channel, I used to keep that I was in Australia relatively quiet because it wasn't important to anything, but apparently my channel just shows that I'm in Australia if you look, and I don't know how to turn it off, so I guess I've been DOSed by Google. So here in Australia we've got a level system for autism. It goes level 1, which is like high functioning, level 2, which is holy shit, and level 3 is like, you know, super duper bad, like they can't function by themselves any way whatsoever. They can't talk, they can't move, that sort of stuff. So I've got almost all of the level 2 symptoms, which I can't remember off the top of my head because I have no brain. So I've been diagnosed with level 2 autism, which means I have to be on a bunch of stuff, and it mixes with ADHD, it makes ADHD awful, which is why I talk at the speed of sound and why I need to go on medications for it. There's been a bunch of stuff, depending on, I mean, so the only thing I've been formally diagnosed with is autism. The ADHD thing is, I've absolutely got it, I'm just waiting to be diagnosed with that. There's a couple of other things that I've been told I might have, but I haven't been diagnosed with, like PTSD and stuff like that. There's been a bunch of different shits going on. I'm not going to go into the PTSD thing, because I'm not actually entirely sure what it means. I've got, like, traumatic memories linked with cycling, but that's because I kept being taken into the middle of Wales. If no one's been in Wales before, nobody lives there, and I had separation anxiety, and my dad would ride off into the sunset because he was significantly older than me. So, yeah, it wasn't good. So I might have PTSD from that or something. I'm not too sure about the PTSD thing. The bipolar? Oh, that's something else I might have. I don't fucking know, man. So yeah, it doesn't really affect anything. It just means that I'm weird. I'm not like... there's some things that I don't like doing. For example, I don't like being in dirt because dirt is awful, and I don't like heat because heat is awful, but I just thought that was normal human things. What it does explain is the fact that I haven't been able to keep a real friend for any longer than 2 years maximum before they get pissed off and throw me in the bin. That has something to do with autism, apparently. So I guess I just can't keep friendos. That's a diagnosis I have now. So yeah, it shouldn't affect none of this really affects the channel. The stuff that will affect the channel is like the streaming, but that, again, won't affect regular videos. The point is, you don't need to watch this unless you're particularly interested in what's going on. The streams will just appear eventually. I mean, I'm already back to streaming, to be honest. I just haven't started it fully. So the streams, I've got this brush, by the way. I use this to brush the dust out of my keyboard and also my computer, which is very dusty because I've had that for like 2 years. So I've got this thing now. I'm just going to hold that. Yeah, so all the stuff that affects the channel, the videos are going to stay the same because I'm really enjoying them and they're really funny and people seem to be liking them quite a lot because I'm getting, oh shit, like 6,000 times the views I was getting on my old videos, which is a shame because I loved the VR videos to absolute death, but apparently they just weren't working for the channel. So unlike a lot of people I know, like Game Peasants and Wild Rosen and all the early like content creator people who just decided this isn't working, I'm throwing the channel in the bin, I tried something else which actually kind of worked, which I'd already sort of dabbled in. If you guys remember the Amber video that I made with Invincible, that was like years before I decided to make any of this stuff. Thought that was, okay, it is recording. I thought that said live for a moment then, like, I'm gonna have to explain some shit. Yeah, so the hair's weird, I know what that's about. I think the saturation with this camera is a little bit derpy. And also, my face is a mess because some of the medications I've been on for not ADHD, I got given a blood pressure medication because as part of the autism or the ADHD that I have, I can't ever relax. If you're familiar with what the fight or flight response is, it basically, it just constantly pumps adrenaline into your blood. So what it essentially means is I'm always my fight or flight response is just permanently jammed into the open position. So it's like a valve permanently leaking adrenaline into my bloodstream. So I can't ever relax because you can't relax with adrenaline in your blood. That's not how adrenaline works. So it's also the same reason I've never been interested in going to clubs and other shit with other people, other than the fact that autism makes you terrible with noise. People seek, like, they do dangerous shit, they do drugs, they do stupid shit. All the people that at my high school that did nonsense that made no sense to me, it's because they were chasing an adrenaline rush. I've been on a permanent adrenaline rush since I was born. I don't know what the alternative is. I can only assume being calm must be nice. It's like a scale with autism, I found out, especially because I've got like a therapist now, and I've got the diagnostician who told me what I was doing. So I've learned in fact, could I turn these on, or would that mess with the lighting? It's entirely possible. No, that's okay. That doesn't seem to have done much. If that fucks with it, I'll turn that off, but that should be fine. Also, there's Jeff. There's Jeff right there. I used to have him on this thing, which is out of frame, because this thing is just tall enough that the back of my chair can hit it. So every stream, I would turn to this for some reason. Like, if someone entered the room, I'd turn, this thing would knock Jeff off, Jeff would knock my can off, and everything would explode. So Jeff is banned. Jeff is up there now, next to the Halo Needler and the Halo Falcon and the nuke from Fallout 4. Yeah, I have some weird stuff on this shelf. Oh, I don't have it in this room, but I should put it. I've got a Warframe medallion for reaching level, like, Mastery 30, which you can only get if you've actually spent, like, 1,000 hours in Warframe. So that's pretty cool. I have that now. That's, yeah. My shelves are a mess. But, so, where the fuck was I? Right, so, yeah, it's an interesting... It's interesting realizing what's caused all this. It's a little disheartening getting an autism diagnosis, because before I just thought that everything was a bit more difficult because I was a sponge, whereas now there's a lot of stuff that I simply can't maintain. Like, I'll never be able to work a job normally because I've got PDA, which is the version of autism that I've got. And for people unfamiliar with that, it's essentially just, I can do stuff unless somebody tells me to do stuff. If, for example, with uni work, right? If I'm given like a week to do something and I can do it by myself, I'm perfectly fine. If I've got to work in a group and that group is constantly pressuring me to get this done, get this done, get this done, I shut down. Like, completely shut down. And it's not even like, I just thought it was really, really bad, what's it called where you like push something back? Procrastination. I just thought it was really bad procrastination. It's not. It's chemicals in my brain blocking my ability to do this object because it's simply shut down. It's hard to explain to anybody. I'd look it up. It's a nightmare is what it is. My sister's got something similar and she's reveling in it because she's naturally pretty fucking lazy. So she's really happy she's got an excuse not to do anything. I, on the other hand, am perfectly fine doing things. I like doing things when it's, on my own terms. So I'm actually quite a driven human. I've got a YouTube channel. All of this is myself. You can't see all of this because I should get like a mirror to show this. This entire room has been set up for VR by me. I've set up everything in here. Everything's good. The computer's all mine. I funded all of it myself. And I am a driven human. The only problem is going outside is fucking terrifying because everything out there is the most overwhelming shit in the fucking universe. And it turns out the reason it's been like that is because my brain is not coded to work properly. Which is so irritating because first of all, I rolled the dice wrong again, go fucking figure. Goddamn dice roll. The fucking dice roll thing that I was having a whinge about all of 2023, for anybody who remembers that, with like regards to whammons and other shit, and it turns out that I've rolled the dice wrong before I was born. It's just, what a piss take. I'm grumpy because on one hand, there's no way I'd be myself if I didn't have autism. You don't make this without severe brain damage because that's just not what humans are. So, I mean, there's so many emotions going on with that, man. There's so many. I mean, Jesus, there's just so many. If you've ever gone to the shops, right, and just gone and grabbed like a lettuce, for example, without having 17 different meltdowns, they're not even panic attacks. They're different. It's like an overwhelming something or other. Basically, your brain just shuts off. If you're not spending, it's like social anxiety on fucking crack cocaine, is what it is. It's so many people. Because, of course, I've never been able to take it for granted. I didn't know there was a problem because I didn't know there was anything different. But apparently, this whole time, people have been able to just go outside and not have 10,000 panic attacks. And just do shit and not worry about it for the next 5 hours or 5 days. I've never been able to do that. So, I don't know, man. I'm a little jealous of the people who can. It's a complicated situation, I suppose, because I'm very happy I'm me. All the other humans that I've ever met go fuck themselves. No, the people around here go fuck themselves. They don't like me very much. I don't like those guys. I'm proud of I developed a pseudo-god complex because my life is significantly more difficult than it should be, and I still, rise up to all the challenges. I am proud of who I am. I'm upset that I have a feeling I would have done all this stuff anyway. So I don't think I needed all these challenges, but it's entirely possible I wouldn't have been. Maybe I'd have been up my own arse like everybody else I know would have been. I've always been unique, but this is taking the piss. By the way, I got a new chair. That's the old chair. That thing's back support is fucked, and also its hands are way too far forward, which I later learned that I could actually kind of remedy using the power of gigantic spanner. So I've got a new chair. This chair's good. It's comfortable. It works on my head because apparently people who are 6'2" don't deserve chairs unless you buy them from the Philippines for some fucking reason. So that's good. Yeah, the autism, almost ADHD. I'll have ADHD soon, don't worry. We have medications for it, that's gonna be nice. The ADHD and the autism mix together very badly, especially PDA, because PDA requires you to have everything structured, and ADHD hates structure. It hates it. So they clash constantly, so it's impossible to do shit. I mean, this streaming thing, I haven't streamed in all of 2024 apart from the last couple of days. This was supposed to restart a couple of months after I quit, in like March. I was supposed to be back on my feet, and it's taken the entire year because it's incredibly difficult to get all of this working in my brain. I have finally figured it out. I'm on the only antidepressant in the world that works with my brain after trying, I think it's about like 8 other medications. So it's been a fucking journey. Let me tell you, it's been slow, but it's been one hell of a fucking slog because it's not just been me pissing around waiting for something to happen. It's been trying so much shit and none of it's doing anything. It's why, the channel, I've refused to allow the channel to fall, regardless of what's happening, regardless of studying, regardless of my existence, regardless of how tough it got. I refuse to let this go because this channel, again, for people who've been around for a while, you remember how this channel was founded. It was me and 2 of my friends who were meant to make a channel and become epic famous and stuff. It was kind of like Game Grumps, but with like 3 people, and we were doing different stuff. So essentially, nothing like Game Grumps actually. So basically, it was just me because they immediately fucked off. The entire The Beam Brigade, which had about 10 or so members in it, all fucked me off around the same time. I don't know why. Also, I have one of these. That shouldn't fucking surprise you. I don't know where I got this thing from. I just had it in a drawer, so now I've got that with me. I just keep fidgeting with all the stuff. So, which reminds me, I forgot to check if this thing's booming or not. I guess I'll fix it in post. There's nothing else going on. This spot on my chin is annoying the shit out of me. Like I said, one of the medications has just fucked with my hormones. I've stopped the medication, by the way, because it was awful. It was just worthless. And again, it was a blood pressure medication. My blood pressure wasn't even that bad. She took me to a machine. This psychiatrist lady who was supposed to be giving me ADHD medication, she put me on a machine and it read that my blood pressure was slightly lower than normal. So she gave me pills to reduce my blood pressure. The autism and ADHD is just baked into who I am. That's not super important. I'm sure if you come into a stream, I'll be ranting about it. So the whole streaming situation, I've done like one desktop stream and the rest of them have been VR. I mean, again, people who've known me for a while will know I'm fucking obsessed with VR, especially in 2022, which is when everything started, well, the channel finally started pseudo taking off, is when I was making VR videos. And I don't know where this channel's headed, obviously. I don't know how well it's gonna do. It might just get shadow banned by VivziePop when it gets to like 5,901 subscribers. But, assuming that it doesn't get smited, I've got no idea where the channel will end up going, who I'll end up connecting with, etc, etc. But I think regardless of what ends up happening, I think 2022 will always be my favorite year of content creation. It was, the start in February, we had the wedding between Chaos and whoever the other dude's name is, I can't really remember what his name was, in VR chat, and then once Chaos's group fell apart due to all sorts of different reasons, I, of course, isolated myself and started making Pavlov videos, and I started making Red and Evil 4 videos, and then Bone Lab videos, and all sorts of different shit, and I had a fucking blast with 2022, so yeah, that was a lot of fun, especially since that was the year I broke up, at the start of the year I broke up with my fucking ex, who was just an abusive moo. I'd rather not get into that. I'm sure I've already spoken more than enough about that woman. But yeah, so it was by far my favorite year of content creation. I really like this year for obvious reasons, but it's I'm getting a much better grasp of what I want to do. Because, of course, the channel at the moment is critiquing VivziePop because I don't like her business model and the fact that she's really hostile to people who give her any sort of critic whatsoever. So I'm like, let's take the human who hates all the humans and throw them in the bin. So, yeah, honestly, it's not where I thought the channel would end up when I started doing gaming back when I was like 0. It's been 2019, so it's been a while. So I'm 5 years old, this channel. I wonder when the actual birthday of it is. I think it might be July sometime. So it's 5.5 years. I think I started oh no. Yeah, okay, no, 5.5 years. So yeah, it's been a while, and obviously everything kept changing. We've gone through however many iterations of the channel now. It was gaming, pretty shit gaming. Then the Beam Brigade ran off, so I sort of stopped the channel for a bit. I did some single player stuff for a bit. Ash got involved, and I started doing other single player stuff. Then she started being in the videos. Then she buggered off, so then it was me doing the VR, and then it was from the VR doing like review videos kind of, and now I'm doing critiquing of cartoons. So it's been one hell of a fucking ride for a lot of people who've been around. There's quite a lot of people who've been there for like multiple years, like JT for example, and like Jug and all those guys. I've met them it must have been 3-4 years back when Instagram wasn't completely AIDS. So yeah, it's been a while. So the channel's perfectly fine. The channel's gonna do what it does for the foreseeable future. I'm really enjoying myself, and yeah, that's the plan with the. Hell, I spent 6 months being within eligibility to monetize the videos and simply refused to, because I thought everyone hated ads as much as I do. Turns out that people don't. They still don't like ads, but I've got a specific thing against ads because of the autism in my brain. So apparently other people don't hate it as much as I do. I can't stand them. So that's why I didn't have them on my videos, even though I was eligible for monetization, I think, before the start of this year. And then once I realized everyone was kind of okay with them, I figured I'd turn them on, see how it works, and since like April, I've managed to fund like the entirety of my Steam Deck that I bought, which is, you know, like the Switch but for Steam. I've managed to fund that with YouTube money, which is no small feat. That's a significant amount of money for that thing. I think it's like $600 or something like that, or rather the OLED was when I bought it. So yeah, it's a serious amount of kit considering I got it for what is essentially free, and the channel's working now. It's going well. I've essentially thrown all the humans who thought I couldn't do anything in the bin and succeeded on my own. I'm a little bit pissed off that none of them stuck around to see it, so I couldn't rub it in their fucking faces. But, you know, that's not what this was about. As funny as it would be to see people like Five and Hyperactive Fox and Rosen and all those people come back and be like, holy shit! Because I was constantly yelling at them because they were yelling at me about my content. I was like, no, I'm doing my thing, leave me alone. And yeah, it'd be very funny to see their reaction upon the channel now, but I don't know, they'd probably still just be mad about it. Ugh, give myself a bit of a headache. I think I had a headache when I arrived though, so I'll just take some painkillers before I leave. I'm going to my therapist in about half an hour. So I gave myself a hard lock on how long this thing's gonna be. It's 25 minutes, which isn't, you know, it's quite a long time for talking. I'm not really too worried on how long it's going to be though. There's a couple of bits in the early video where I have to chop it out, but I think at a certain point I don't need to worry about editing it. I'll just put some music on along it, and it'll just be like a rant. In regards to what I said before with this being the last vlog for a bit, I mean, I've accumulated a bunch of information over, you know, however many months it's been. So that's the only reason I'm really making it, and to celebrate Christmas. Maybe I'll do one like every Christmas or something like that. Which reminds me, last Christmas I was building this thing. Why am I stupid? It's a Lego Minecraft Bee. It sort of blends in with Gumby because Gumby's also yellow. But that was a year ago. In fact, that was since I was last streaming. So yeah, this year's gone absolutely nowhere. Jesus, yeah, because I was playing Cyberpunk back then. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been streaming. I mean, with the whole illness situation, which, I mean, it might end up being, I don't know, so the illness was a combination of a bunch of different shit, but because it was also, I'll move this forward and try and support my head so I don't die of headache pain. The whole illness situation, it was highly linked to the autism, which of course none of us knew about. We weren't sure if it was like physical damage to whatever, because I was said before, like I just swelled like a balloon whenever I get stressed. It seems to be a very, very aggressive stress response. And I can only assume that having adrenaline pumped into your blood 24/7 does some damage. So I'm going to attribute it to that, and I'm hoping once the ADHD medications start easing everything off, paired with the antidepressants I'm on, hopefully the pain should fuck off. It's better than it was before. Significantly better, actually. That's another reason I hadn't streamed for so long, is it fucking killed to sit down in a chair. I couldn't do it at university, because of course it's the stomach area, so I can't bend over because it was just, it was really bad. So I couldn't really sit down in uni for very long. So yeah, it's a long story, don't even get me started. So it's been a bit of a nightmare. Things are better now. I think the whole fact that I know that something, like, we've got sort of an answer of what's going on has made the system calm down a bit, to the point where I can actually sit in a chair now. So that's good. I don't know if you remember, I used to get super out of breath just by talking. Oh, that's another thing. I've started like doing treadmills and eating not chocolate all the time, so that's probably also helped a little bit. I'm sure I look quite big still a little bit, but I wonder if we'll be able to see a difference between this. I'll find like a still frame of the other vlog I've made and see if there's any difference. What is wrong with my eyes? I think the lighting's just a bit buggered. I promise I don't look this bad. I look fine in the mirror over there. It's just the lighting on these cameras have always been an if. Speaking of which, the camera up there, you can't see that one, that's a VR camera. So there's ways that you can emulate full body. Who's ringing me? Hello, mother. Hello, child with PDA who can't deal with being forced to do stuff. Guess what you're doing again? It's called All the Things. Don't get me fucking started. So, of course, because I've been the heavy lifter in the family for ages, because dad broke his spine because he's dumb, and mum is mum, and my sister is brittle bones, I've been the one dealing with most of the stuff. It turns out that every time that's happening, it's been making the illness worse. Because, of course, the illness is linked to the ADHD and the autism, which is made worse by the fact that I have to do stuff because PDA makes everything worse. So, I've essentially been poisoned by everything I've been doing the past 24 years. I'm 24, by the way, before you ask. I'm not like 30. Some people keep thinking I'm 30. I'm not. I'm very young. I'm very dumb. I don't know what I'm doing. My mascot is a crab. It's not that crab. It's actually that crab. This is the me crab. That one's the green. You can't see his hat. It's off the screen. That one's Cube, who we've named Fred because I never gave him a name, turns out, according to the Wikipedia page I've never made. Obviously above me is Jeff, and this is Gumby, who's busy doing, I'm not actually sure what he's doing, to be honest. He just eats stuff. That's basically his entire thing. He's basically Grendel from Warframe. That's fucking Grundy. Yeah, so I haven't got too long before I get eaten by parental stuff, but it should be long enough to wrap up all the shit I've been talking about non-stop for the past half an hour. So, despite my best efforts to not make this super long, it appears my efforts have fucking failed. So, whoops. Which probably means like 2 people will ever get this far, but that's perfectly fine. I mean, talking about shit is important for me anyway. So, I can just talk to myself and pretend I'm doing something productive with it. So, ha. Joke's on you, 5 fucking average seconds of view watch time. So yeah, I don't know what it was. Oh right, the full body tracking thing with VR chat and shit. So you can use a camera to emulate where your feet and stuff are. So when I get back from the therapist lady, I'm going to use that webcam. I don't actually use it for camera stuff anymore because I don't have a face cam in the VR streams. There's many reasons for that. One, you'd be very surprised at the amount of times that I turn myself around and end up looking at the Skyrim poster without realizing it. So the webcam would just be 90%. All it is just the audience politely asking me to turn the fuck around. So, and it also means I can go anywhere on my space. Like this entire area is built for VR, except for this chair that I need to get rid of. But everything else, this entire room is like a 4x4 meter room. Outside of that, this desk and like the VR setup there, all of this space is made to be able to walk around in VR. That's the whole point. Which is why I think full body tracking would work quite well on a camera like that. Because the whole point is, you can use hand tracking now with the Quest, which is what I have, because the Quest is awesome. So I've got that thing, and you can actually use your hands in VR chat, for example. I think that's probably the only game that supports it. So, of course, now that I've got that and the hand tracking, I want to try and figure out the full body tracking stuff. Of course, I can't do that with actual trackers, because the problem with trackers is A, I live in Australia where trackers don't exist, and B, you've got to wear them on your skin. And I know the type of felt that they give you to wear those things, it's elastic, and I can't fucking handle it. So because I've got the soft touch shit that a lot of autism people have, like I said, I can't get dirt, I can't get heat, I can't deal with it. The texture of those is just going to completely pull me out of VR every time I move, because I'm going to be immediately reminded that I've got trackers all over my arms and my legs and shit. So the only way I can really try and pull it off is by using the camera emulation and not having any trackers on me, because A, they're expensive, B, I don't want them, C, they're not actually that great apparently, and D, I wouldn't be able to concentrate on anything else while I had them on me, and also E, I wouldn't have any, like, ability to fucking make them up every time. I'd get just fed up with them and end up leaving them somewhere because I wouldn't want to deal with them today. Which is probably what I'll end up doing with that, knowing my brain, but at least with that hasn't cost me anything, so that's good. Yeah, no, I haven't got ADHD. I've never talked so fast in me fucking life, lady. Nice fucking blood pressure tablets. She gave me those to stop my fight or flight response. The fight or flight response is triggered by a chemical release from your hypothalamus, as far as I can remember. It's been a while since I've been in biology, because I'm doing environmental stuff now. But I'm pretty sure the hypothalamus releases a chemical into your brain that causes adrenaline to go into your blood, which causes your heart rate to increase. What she's done is decrease my heart rate. So she's fighting the adrenaline, but she's not fighting its production. So she's just stopping its effect on my heart. Not its effect on everything else, especially not its effect on my brain, which means it's not going to disable my fight or flight response. It's going to turn off my heart. Which, no offense, is the least of my issues regarding the fact that it's in my brain. Obviously, my heart is completely fine anyway. You put me on the machine. Stop giving me pills I don't need. Stop it. Stop doing. Listen, woman, I know that you're a psychiatrist and you know more about shit than me. Blood pressure tablets for ADHD? Are you fucking insane? Sorry, I don't want to rant about this at my fucking therapist again. Me and I had a right fucking laugh at this lady. Because she's professional in autism and ADHD, the therapist I'm seeing. So the amount of people she's had under her care who go to a psychiatrist and psychiatrist gives them nonsense fish is apparently really fucking high. So she knew exactly what was going on when I mentioned the chemical I was on. It's chloroclimamine or something. It does help ADHD a little bit, apparently, in the same way that eating a lettuce would theoretically help ADHD because it stops your brain from doing as much stuff for a while it focuses on eating lettuce. So, yeah, there was about, the list of side effects, there's about like 20 main side effects. I'm gonna say I have all of them. They weren't great. None of them were great. It was a mess, let me fucking tell you. So yeah, we don't do those anymore. We do comfy chair, we do Jeff plushies. We don't actually do Jeff plushies yet. We should do Jeff plushies. I've gotten a lot of requests to make Jeff plushies. The thing is, they don't actually appear in the videos much anymore. They used to appear quite a lot. But I don't actually have a reason to use them now, so they're just sort of there. But they're channel mascots. They don't have to be everywhere, all over the channel. They're all over the art. I mean, these both are pieces of fan art. You can't see the third piece, but that's just the profile picture of my channel, and obviously that's a map of Skyrim. So, I mean, when they were more involved in the channel, I've got enough fan art to plaster on my wall, which is pretty funny. I mean, Jesus Christ, I wonder how many other channels I know actually have fan art made by fans. I'm gonna assume it's not too many, but I mean, I've met a lot of fucking channels. Anyway, I accidentally left most of them in my dust. I tried to take you all with me, but for some reason, none of you wanted to talk to me anymore once I got past like 2,000 subscribers for some reason, so... Okay, I guess I'll leave. I don't know how normal humans work. Maybe it's a normal human thing. Maybe when somebody gets to a certain amount of subscribers, their brain just turns off and goes, that person, fuck them, throw them in the dungeon. Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand humans at all. So, yeah. That's alright though, because I don't need to understand humans. I'm Crab, and also I'm losing my fucking mind. I think I'm going to try and wrap it up because we haven't got too long before I have to leave. But everything's, honestly, it's just sort of plodding along. I might make like a post. I won't make any more vlogs for quite a bit. Because A, they eat the algorithm, B, I don't want two people knowing that I'm a ginger, they'll mass unsubscribe. My hair is really weird though, it's very poofy, I don't know what happened. I mean, I had a shower, so maybe that happened, but it didn't happen last time. It's like, fuck it. It is very floof. It's like, very floof, actually. Okay, cool, and apparently I'm significantly more red than I am. So I have a feeling this camera's just a little bit more saturated than it's supposed to be. But again, because it's only going to be like a small baby camera thing, it shouldn't actually be much of a problem, so that's alright. Also, this camera keeps swapping between, oh, that's a problem. I hope that camera doesn't fucking do that. It keeps swapping between the VR camera and the desktop camera, for no real reason. It's possible that's just defaulting to the wrong one. Maybe I can swap that and make it work when it plugs in. I don't know how it works. But either way, so... yeah, I mean, it's going to be business as usual. I've discovered a lot of stuff that affects me personally. But, I mean, again, if you haven't watched the channel, nothing's going to change. It's just doing what it's done before. I'm quite enjoying myself. Hopefully I'll eventually be reached out to by any other content creator in the fucking universe to do anything with anybody else. I don't know why, since I swapped from gaming to this, I've been shunned by the old people I used to know, which is weird. I guess they only wanted gaming or something, so... yeah, or maybe they was just big into VR and they're not into attacking furries with sticks, which is 90% of what VR is. I'm not sure. It has gone for 40 minutes, this vlog, so it's just been more of a ramble than anything else. I don't think I'm leaving anything out. Maybe I'll have a look on the old recording and see if there's anything I've missed, but I'm pretty sure that covers most of it. I have autism now, not ADHD yet, but I do have it, I just haven't been diagnosed. It's level 2 autism, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned, I was mentioning the levels of, like, 1 was kind of okay, 2 was pretty bad, and 3 was, like, crippling. Hell, they're all crippling, man. So I'm level 2, quite high up the scale of level 2. I think I might have mentioned that, actually. I'm not sure. But yeah, so it's quite intense, the confusion I feel just by existing. I'm also supposed to be wearing glasses now as well, which is probably why my brain hurts. So, whoops, I have no idea where those are. Probably find them. But yeah, that's gonna be it. I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas. This wasn't really a Christmas thing. I just released it as a Christmas special because I don't have one planned. I'm gonna force myself to go to bed. I can't go to bed. I've got to drive half an hour down the road to meet my therapy woman. yeah, so I'm getting back into VR chat, which is interesting. I never thought I'd see VR chat again, not after the whole chaos situation, but apparently it's a lot of fun. So I don't know whether I'll be streaming that. I probably won't. VR chat's always been something that I've never been interested in streaming. There's a multitude of reasons for that. First of all, everything goes wrong every time I'm in it. Second of all, I want to be myself in there. I don't want to be judged by a potential camera. Of course, a bunch of other people don't want that either. I'll probably be buried under the mounds of people already streaming VR chat anyway. So I probably won't end up streaming VR chat. I'll still be streaming VR, stuff like Into the Radius and Into the Radius 2 and Gorn and fucking Job Simulator and a bunch of shit like that. So yeah, I think at the moment, because I'm quite obsessed with VR again, most of the streams will be VR based. At least for most of the time. I've got a couple of games that I do want to stream, but that'll probably come afterwards. Because I've had my Steam Deck for a while, so I have been playing PC games, but not VR, so I have missed VR very dearly. So I'll probably be focusing on that for a bit. So yeah, like I said before, everything should be as normal. So you shouldn't notice any change. I don't think I'll make a vlog unless something very important happens. I might make one of those stupid post things, but I honestly prefer ranting, so that's why I did this. Yeah, that's that. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I've really got. I don't know, man. I think I'm just gonna go. I'm trying to think of anything else, but of course ADHD brain prevents that from actually happening. Oh, I don't know if it helps. My Discord is the same as my YouTube name, so if somehow one of the people who's watching have like symptoms of ADHD and autism and stuff and want to talk about it for whatever reason, then you can just message me on Discord or just message me about whatever the fuck, to be honest. I'm beansy time on pretty much everything, like YouTube, Facebook, everything. I don't use Facebook though. I use Instagram a bit. It's mostly Discord now though. So yeah, if anyone wants any help with that, I've gone through the whole process myself. Especially in Australia, it's a little bit finicky, but yeah, I don't know if anyone's even gotten this far into the video, but figured I'd offer anyway. It seems how I now have a full course studying the fucking thing. So I've learnt the hard way that not only have I been living it, but yeah, it's been ever present in my life, so without me even realising. Oh well, that's going to be it from me. I'm very proud of my decorations, by the way. It took a while. I should have plugged that thing in so it was doing the rotating thing. I completely forgot about that. No, because it like spins. Alright, I'm gonna go before I ramble about all other nonsense. I hope you enjoyed your Christmas. Enjoy your New Year's, if you're doing New Year's celebrations and stuff like that. I probably won't. I'll just be in bed playing Dragon Quest. I've been playing Dragon Quest 11. I played Dragon Quest 9 when I was like 5 or, well, like 8. And fuck it, that game was just the most influential thing ever. My group of novels that I'll probably never end up writing, but they stick in my head as pieces of novels. The entire world I made was all based on characters from my Dragon Quest 9 roster 10 years ago, long after, no, 15 years ago even, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I'm playing Dragon Quest 11 and it's very funny. Causing a bit of resonance issues, especially Jade, but that's alright, I've got that under control. VR chat sort of ate that. None of you know what resonance is. I could tell you what resonance is, because there'll be like one person got to the end of this. But I'd sound like a mental patient because I haven't got enough time to explain it. I think I won't. Come to one of the streams. If you've seen this and want to know what resonance is, you won't be asked. You'll forget about this immediately. Never mind. But if I'm making a stream and someone mentions resonance to me, I'm going to have a fucking heart attack. Alright, cool, that's going to be it from me. I'm going to go to my therapist, get some muffins and eat them or something, or not do that. It's Christmas, so I'm going to do that. Alright, see you later. Enjoy all of your life and stuff, and I hope you have a good 2025. The channel will be here posting, it's probably going to be once every 3 weeks when I'm back at uni, depending on how high the workload is, and other than that, it's once every 2 weeks. So once every 2-3 weeks, something like that. So yeah, you'll see it, especially if you have the bell. I might be making shorts again, depending. I don't like the shorts because I don't have the energy to make shorts like properly, so they're just chopped up pieces of, the small video, sorry, the big video. So it feels a little bit lazy, so I'm not sure I'm going to be making shorts. I'm definitely going to keep streaming for a while though. And if I've stopped streaming, it means I've gotten way too engrossed into VR, which I refuse to apologize for. Sorry, VR chat just does that to me. So, yeah. Pretty sure that's humans. I'm gonna go. Yes, enjoy your Christmas and New Year's and year and life and stuff and Kirks. I accidentally sponsored Kirks this entire video by forgetting that was in frame. Yay! Also, that pot, I know it's a medical pot, it just has blue tack in it. I really hope no one's been paying attention to anything in the background of my videos, especially the Mr. Men book collection. Actually, no, I stand by that. Those books are awesome. Alright, I'm gonna fucking leave now. It's been an honor. I'll see you, like, next year.